Okay, this is a video on my experience with making my own pannier brackets from a Bmw GS with the intention of loading it on YouTube so you can see what I've done and maybe make some yourself. Up to now I've bent some, I think 19mm tube, and I've bent it using said bending machine, pipe bender, but unfortunately it's not what it's cracked up to be, because as you can see the corners it's kind of kinked over, but because I've braced it at each corner it's not been a major problem for me. So I don't expect the rigidity to be compromised. I'm just going to turn that goddamn music off. I know you YouTube buddies have some crazy music on, but that's even bad by my standards. So if we start with Touratech boxes and the standard fittings, and I had some Schwanzalp, great bike, better than a GS, let me tell you. Had some, I don't know who makes those or whether they're Touratech or not, but they're unfortunately it's the right hoop but the wrong extensions, so I took it upon myself to make my own. The tricky bits are this piece here and that piece there. This piece I decided on my own steam to make it in that design. Perhaps it wasn't a great idea because it's quite heavy and robust. My problem was this mounting bracket here, that one there, and then I've got this one here on the back of the footrest, and then obviously the bar to run across the back of the bike, which obviously will be much easier. But this piece here, which sits in up on there, has got the extra piece at the side to accommodate the tube that runs across to the hoop. If you look at this side, this is what I've done there. From there to there, I've just tacked those on at the moment while I gauge the right distance, because I'm pretty close to the exhaust there. That's I've yet to see if that's going to cause me a problem. Now this piece here is for my second higher mount, which bolts on there, which is quite neat and nifty really. My esteemed father-in-law tells me that that's a Farrell joint, and he introduced me to it this morning because I was really going for a much more elaborate type of fitting, which wouldn't have been half as good, so I'm quite pleased with that. So we've got that one on there, got that one on there. My next one to make is the bottom bracket, which I'm going to come off with a flat piece and put straight up to the rest of the tube. At that point, what I've got to do then is replicate the other side, but I don't know if you keyboard warriors have noticed, but that box is a smaller box than that box, which incidentally cost me a goddamn fortune, but second hand as well. So I'm going to have to take all my measurements, cut 1.5 inches off and put them on the opposite side, which will mean I've got interference from the indicator, so I'm going to have to rethink that. So I'm going to leave it at that. I think you've got all you need there. Apart from, if you're thinking of doing this, do take the jump. It's not as difficult as it looks. The tubing that I used, I was very fortunate, a friend of mine got hold of it for me, is this stuff here, 19mm tube. I don't know what grade it is, I'm not that much into it. There's some brilliant videos on YouTube of a guy with a KLR, I think, and an American guy, KLR 650, and he makes them from square section steel, a little bit like this stuff here on the corner of me, maybe a bit thicker than that, and he does an awesome job of that. really good, all bolt together. There's another chap, ingeniously makes them out of old chairs, school chairs. The tube, brilliant idea. I wish I'd have thought of that, but anyway, I've got these now. So the welder I've used is my Clark, but I have got a stick welder, which, would you believe, I bought from Aldi for about 35 quid, which would have done this equally as well. So 35 quid and some old chairs, you could kit yourself up with some 200, 300 quid pannier brackets. I suppose you just need to have a little bit of an experiment at welding if you're not used to it. These, I don't know if you've noticed this as well, the gap I've left there and there, because I've made it myself, I can now give myself movement up and down the bike, so if the load is causing me problems and wagging the head or what have you, I can move it backwards and forwards up to maybe an inch, 2 inches, which should be useful. So I'm going to crack on, I'm going to finish them off, and I'll post a part 2. You can look forward to that. See you later.